order to have diners find you in OpenTable, your restaurant needs to show up in the search results. And to show up in the search results, you need a restaurant profile. Start building your profile by going to the menu and choosing Restaurant Profile. You may see some information already populated. Let's start with adding basic information. This will consist of your contact information, cuisine, price point, profile photo, description, and business hours. Choose Add Basic Information to get started. You may already see your restaurant phone number. If you don't, you should add it in. There are 3 options when selecting your cuisine. The first and most important one is your primary cuisine. Think of this as the one-word summary of what your restaurant offers food-wise. If you are an Italian restaurant, but you select international as your primary cuisine, is that the best representation of your restaurant? For a better chance of showing up when searched by potential guests, you can select 2 additional cuisines. Think of it like this. If you're a farm-to-table restaurant that serves a great steak, but also makes authentic Italian pasta, you might choose farm-to-table as your primary cuisine, and then Italian and steak as your additional options. The better you can sum up your restaurant in your profile, the more accurate your restaurant will be presented to potential guests. Next up is adding your profile photo. OpenTable recommends using a photo that best conveys your restaurant ambiance so guests have an idea of what to expect when they arrive for their reservation. OpenTable does have some image requirements for your profile photo. Please don't use your logo, or menu, or photos with people. The image should be a JPEG or PNG format. You can have a minimum size of 1280 by 720 with a 12 megabyte maximum file size. If your photo is not uploading, check if it needs to be adjusted to fit these requirements. Once your profile photo is successfully uploaded, guests on mobile devices will see this. And guests on a computer will see this. Next up is your restaurant description. As with your cuisine selections, your description is directly tied to how your restaurant shows up in the search results when a guest is looking for a place to eat on OpenTable. So, unique text in your description will increase the chances of a guest finding your restaurant. Here's an example of a not great description. OpenTable Cafe is open and accepting reservations. Come check us out. We've got great views of the water and downtown. Also, the chef is pretty dang good. This could be any restaurant. Nothing stands out or is unique. Here's an example of a good description. OpenTable Cafe is a one-of-a-kind, nationally acclaimed restaurant with California Mediterranean cooking. Enjoy an airy yet chic setting, complete with an indoor dining room fireplace, outdoor courtyard, mezzanine, gallery curated by modernism, and a full bar in the main dining room. There's also a great cocktail bar next door as you enter from Main Street. Think of your restaurant description as the elevator pitch to guests on why they should make a reservation. Don't drone on and on, but don't be so generic that it leaves people uninspired. Lastly, let's set the business hours. These are not related to when a guest can make a reservation. It is simply, when do you open the doors to guests, and when do you close them? You can specify shifts as well, as seen here. Once you have your basic information completed, we can add in some more details to your profile. This will further help your restaurant show up in search results for potential guests. The easy way to get started with adding details is to choose Quick Setup. First up is offerings. Potential guests want to know what's on the menu and if it suits their diet. What kind of beverages will be offered? Who's making the food? And what are their options for payment? You can also upload your menu here as well. Next up is setting expectations on how your guests will be experiencing your awesome menu. Is there a dress code? If the weather is nice, can they potentially sit outside? Or do you offer takeout for guests so they can experience your food in the comfort of their own home? Or are you able to deliver food to guests directly? Sometimes guests want to dine in at your restaurant, but may be hesitant to make a reservation without knowing what measures you're taking for their health and safety. Here's where you can make your selections to keep your potential guests informed. And this is how it'll show up on your profile page. Once a reservation has been made with your restaurant, a guest will want to know how to get there if they're a first-time diner. Here, you can let potential guests know if there's parking available, what the dress code might be, what the cross streets are, or if there are any public transit stops nearby. Sometimes, guests like to know a little bit about who the owner-operator of your restaurant is. In this optional section of your profile, you can select any categories that apply to your establishment. Not all potential guests are looking for a same-day reservation. Some are looking for a restaurant to host their private event, or they love your food so much they would like to have their off-site event catered by your restaurant. This last part of the details section is where you can highlight the spaces available for special occasions, as well as spotlight your catering options. When you're ready, choose Publish and Close. The next section of your restaurant profile is gallery photos. Guests are generally interested in two main topics regarding photos. What does the restaurant look like? And what does the food look like? OpenTable suggests at least 10 images for your profile gallery. Here's what your potential guests will see once you've uploaded photos to the gallery. The Reservation Widget allows potential guests to search and book reservations on your website at a discounted rate to you. Before you add the widget to your website, confirm your selected location here. If your restaurant is part of a group, you can add another location like this. There are currently 4 reservation widget styles to choose from: standard, tall, wide, and button. The reservation path determines what happens after a potential guest clicks on your reservation widget. Choose Open in an Overlay to keep the reservation process in the same browser window. Or choose Open in a New Window if you prefer guests to search for a table in a new browser window. Your marketing tracking options will generate customized URLs so you can track where your reservations are coming from. You can also track where reservations are coming from at the campaign level. So, for example, if you're running a Mother's Day email campaign, you can track how many reservations were generated from that campaign by configuring your reservation widget like this. There's no limit to how many custom reservation links you can create. Once all areas are set, click Copy Code or Copy Link. Codes are best for adding to a website, and links can be used for anything, like email campaigns, or other sites such as Facebook. You can also use links on your website. The last section in Restaurant Profile is Internal Notes. If you are part of a group of restaurants, you can add in notes for staff as they're making reservations. If you are not part of a restaurant group, then you shouldn't see the Internal Notes section. Finally, let's talk about integrations. Click on the menu and choose Integrations. Here's what OpenTable calls the Integrations Marketplace. All Integrations is where you'll see all of the available services you can connect to your OpenTable account. For example, if you use Uber Eats and Postmates for delivery, you can integrate them with your OpenTable account. Here's what it will look like for potential guests. My Integrations is where you can see what services you've connected to your OpenTable account.